Welcome back, folks, to the random video blog where every single Friday, today's Saturday, but usually every single Friday, I, Graham GSM Matthews, run down my rambling thoughts in the wrestling world, share a few stories, etc., etc. And we are just 48 hours removed from NXT Lowell, which I was in attendance for, my second ever NXT show. I went to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn last August, arguably, not even arguably, undisputedly the greatest wrestling show that I've ever been in attendance for, but I think Thursday's show might have given a run for its money. And I was going to record this yesterday. I got busy. Family came up. I got stuff to do. I got stuff to work on this weekend. But I found some time today to talk about it. I couldn't go a weekend without doing the video blog. Specifically this weekend after NXT Lowell on Thursday. And my voice is still shot, so it probably worked out for the better. Because my voice probably would have been gone had I done it yesterday. It probably would have been a lot worse than it is right now. I'm still trying to get my voice back, but that's how crazy of a show it was on Thursday. And any wrestling show that I go to that I lose my voice at, you know it's a great show. And the whole deal with the video blog, I was going to do it on this originally, as I talked about before. I was going to talk about NXT Lowell, and then China passed away on Wednesday night, and the news broke Thursday morning. And I was going to talk about that on Friday instead. But then NXT Lowell was so amazing, I figured I kind of talked about China in a WWE radio excerpt on Thursday. So I'll probably just talk about this instead. So here we are back. Excuse me. We are back again here for the random video blog with a rare Saturday edition talking about NXT Lowell from Thursday night. So like I said, my first ever NXT live event. I went to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That was technically a TakeOver special. My first NXT live event. Very, very fun. Even without the title change, it would have been a great show. But anyway, we got the tickets about a month and a half ago. We knew we had to go. And as I learned last year with the whole WWE live event here in Boston, which I didn't go to, with a fucking Rock showed up at, I knew I couldn't miss the show. Specifically NXT too, because NXT is the hottest ticket in wrestling right now. So we get to the show. Great arena. It's at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium or something like that. Never been there before, but it's a cool little arena. Fits about 2,000 to 3,000 people. And, it had nice little setup. I thought the acoustics were great. The crowd was loud all night. There was one guy that would not shut up by the end, chanting for like the Red Sox or something. That's when you know it's like off the deep end. But the crowds at NXT are always great. This crowd was no exception. So we get there. We picked up our merch. I'm not wearing it right now. I'm wearing my CM Punk t-shirt right now, as you can see. But I did pick up an American Alpha t-shirt in America, and also an NXT poster with all the matches on it, which I picked up for Brooklyn too. So I got two of those for my only two NXT live shows. But anyway, as far as the matches go, the show kicked off at 7:30 with Mojo Rawley versus Riddick Moss, one of the enhancement talents. He doesn't look like one of your local athletes, like out of shape, or he looks like an indie-rific dude or whatever. He looked like he could be a superstar. Nothing he did here kind of stood out to me in terms of being like, oh, this guy's going to be a major star one day, like a few of the other people did later on. But he did look good here. Mojo Rawley came out to boos initially. People were chanting, "Who are you?" There's one specific chant from Mojo that I thought was great. He was going, "He ain't hyped," and the crowd would go, "He ain't hyped," and they would repeat it. "Who ain't hyped? He ain't hyped. He ain't hyped. He ain't hyped." So that kind of thing. And then at the end, that one fan who was chanting for the Red Sox by the end, he was going, "Who is he?" And that got a nice little laugh out of the crowd. So the match was all right. Mojo won over the crowd. He won over the crowd in the end with his energy and his offense and whatever. So he didn't look bad here. Fine little match kick off the show. After that, Bayley and Carmella taking on Dana Brooke and Peyton Royce. Bayley making my heart melt. So happy to see her. I mean, obviously, I think it probably, other than the NXT title change, she probably got the biggest markout moment from me. I'll probably be putting up a video of her entrance here on the channel tomorrow or at some point in the near future, because I got video of that. The only video I took all night was of Bayley's entrance. Carmella looked good here. She was over with the crowd, the Princess of Lowell, Mass, as she called herself. Dana Brooke looked a lot better than she has in the past. In the ring, that is. I mean, she always looks good, but I mean, in the ring, she looked a lot better than she has before. I don't know if this was her first live event in a while, because I know she hasn't wrestled on TV since December. And I don't know if she's worked other live events in the past couple of months or not. I haven't been paying attention to that. But she didn't look bad here. Peyton Royce looked pretty good too. She looked like she could be a player in the Divas division, the women's division rather, in NXT at some point down the line. She's got a good look. She's pretty competent in the ring. She just kind of needs that extra it factor maybe. The whole Poison Ivy thing is unique, I guess, but it doesn't really stand out as much as Asuka does, and Bayley, Carmella, even Dana Brooke. So I feel like with that extra push, she could be someone in the women's division at some point. After that, we had Baymella won. Baymella won, obviously, and they were just kind of celebrating afterwards, which was funny. So after that, we had Christopher Gerard, formerly known as Biff Busick, taking on Tommaso Ciampa in a really, really, really good match. I thought this was going to be nothing more than typical squash match that goes a couple minutes. They got about at least 10 minutes or so, and it was fucking great. Tommaso, I think, hit his finisher, or one of his finishers. It was like a power bomb into a backstabber, I guess is the best way to describe it. And Gerard kicked out. And he got a big pop, too, because he's from the area. He's from the Northeast. I think he is from the Boston, not Lowell, I don't think, but from the Massachusetts area. So people were very much behind him. He got a great reaction here. Tommaso looked great, too. Really, really entertaining match. In the end, Gerard surprisingly picking up the victory. That was great to see. They hugged afterwards, showed a sign of respect, hugged afterwards. That was great. So really, really pleasantly surprising match, and probably one of the better matches of the night. After that, we had Austin Aries versus Manny Andrade, I guess is how you can pronounce it. From what I heard, I mean, people were talking about it in the crowd, like, who is this guy? I believe it was El Sombro, his name was, in Mexico, one of the top stars in Mexico that WWE signed to NXT not too long ago. And he is fucking great. I figured, again, like I did with the previous match, I figured as soon as Aries came out, I figured, okay, quick squash match. And I don't have the poster here with me, but the match was on the poster. Didn't really think much of it because I have no idea who this guy is. And they had a fucking great match. Manny actually outshined Austin Aries, which I thought was interesting. He had a lot more. The crowd is more behind him than they were Aries as soon as he kind of, showed off his full moveset. Moveset. Speaking of moonsault, though, he hit a moonsault, or he went for a moonsault, and then he landed on his feet, and then he did another moonsault. It was fucking insane, but it looked great. And that was a cool spot. A lot of cool spots here from Manny. He was really the MVP of this matchup. Austin Aries in the end hitting a vicious fucking running elbow and to score the victory, showing him respect afterwards. So really, really good match. Manny is one to watch out for. He has yet to debut on NXT TV. I don't even think he's worked as an enhancement talent yet. I think he has yet to debut at all on NXT TV. So I'm hoping at some point we get our first glimpse of him on NXT TV because the guy is goddamn great. He can really be somebody. He's got a good look, too. He's got like this weird, fancy-looking haircut like Zema Ion did at one point. So he's got great hair, too, but he's got the look of a star. And he can definitely go in the ring, too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do when he eventually gets called up to NXT. After that, we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Elias Samson. My first time ever seeing Shinsuke, and I got goosebumps during the entrance. It really is something to behold. And after going to SummerSlam last year and seeing Taker's entrance, and I had seen Taker before, my first ever WWE show back in 2009 at a SmackDown taping, but the coolest entrances I've ever seen live, in addition to Brock Lesnar, but that's cool for a different reason, Undertaker, Finn Balor as the Demon, and this. Nakamura is a fucking star. As RJ said himself, he sweats charisma. Shinsuke is just, people, who knew him before he came to WWE obviously already knew of that, how big of a star he was. But seeing him in person for the first time ever, seeing him in action for the first time ever was really something to behold. You will never experience it all as a wrestling fan until you see Nakamura. And that's a bold statement, I know, but the guy is just that great. Elias Samson got in some moves. He got him in a chin lock at one point. This was mostly all Nakamura, which was awesome. And a fun match. Nakamura in the end going over with a Bomai, or however they say it, pronounce it, whatever. He scores the victory. Seeing him do the rope thing, too, is really fucking cool. How he leans over the ropes and the second rope or whatever. Bottom rope or whatever it is, I don't know. When he did that during his initial entrance. He didn't do it after he won, but he did it the first time. And I got a great picture of that. It's on the website. And by the way, all the pictures I took at the show are on nextairwrestling.net if you want to check them out. So that was really, really good. Fun match there. After that, for the NXT Tag Team Championships after the intermission. During the intermission, which was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, I went out to go get a drink, and the line was super long. I'm figuring to myself, fuck, I'm not going to make it back in time. They were counting down from 10 for the matches to begin again. I barely made it back in time. I thought I wasn't going to make it back, and I did. I was really happy about that. So I got my drink in hand, ready for the NXT Tag Team title match, which was really, really good, on par with their match from TakeOver Dallas. American Alpha, again, total stars. These guys are the perfect package and are really going to make a splash in WWE when they get called up at some point, too. And the Revival are really, really good, so great match here. Mostly American Alpha, but some great heel tactics from the Revival, too. Like I said, on par with their NXT TakeOver Dallas match. In the end, American Alpha winning with a roll-up to retain the NXT Tag Team titles. Celebrating afterwards, which was cool to see. After that, for the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka defending against Alexa Bliss. I saw one report of the match which said it wasn't really that good. I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good match. I thought Alexa Bliss looked really, really good here. She debuted in NXT about 2 years ago, I think, at this point. Almost exactly 2 years. And she has really come a long way, especially as a heel. She is really in her comfort zone as a heel. So I think she can really be a major player for NXT's women division as soon as, as soon as Bayley gets called up. I feel like Alexa will be the next one, along with maybe Carmella, to give that push to the moon because she's really good too. So not a great match, but a good match. Maybe people got their hopes up because, the women's division in NXT, the women's matches in NXT are usually like blow away. But this was still pretty good. So in the end, Asuka winning with the chicken wing, forcing Alexa to tap out to retain the NXT Women's Championship. And then the main event, Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe. Again, a very good match, as only one would expect, following their encounters from NXT TakeOvers Dallas and London too. So this was kind of, again, on par with those matches. I don't know if it was better or worse, but I would say it's on par with both those encounters. It was still a very good match. The spot that everyone's talking about, Balor took Joe to the outside and did a drop kick to him on the barricade. And I didn't see it. I was on the side that, Balor was running towards, so I didn't see him even make contact with Joe. I couldn't tell you if he got hurt. I believe he's fine. It's probably a total work. I think it was just an out for him to lose the championship. I don't think he's hurt because he worked last night's live event in Providence in Kingston, Rhode Island at URI, and I heard he was fine. So I think it's a total work for those of you that are asking. So anyway, he hits that. The doctors come out. They rush out. You see the referee do the X sign, and they tend to Finn Balor. And it's like, is the match over? If they end the match, then Balor, Joe wouldn't win the championship on a fucking, on an injury or whatever. I mean, they've done that before with like Sami Zayn, but that was at a takeover, not a live event. So out of nowhere, Joe gets back in the ring. He's kind of leaning against the ropes. Balor leaps back in the ring despite doctor's orders, jumps on Joe, takes him out with a sling blade, takes him out with the drop kick in the corner, is about to follow it up with the coup de grace. But before he can, Joe smacks him off the turnbuckle, locks him up for the muscle buster, and I'm waiting for a reversal, and he hits it, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm thinking, okay, he's going to kick out, a lot like at Dallas or, London. I'm pretty sure he kicked out of it at one of those two specials. So anyway, he goes for it. 1, 2, 3. And the police, I can't even describe to you. Again, it's been 2 days and my voice is still gone. Because I said, holy fuck, probably 24 times during this matchup. During the finish, anyway. And it was just unbelievable. I'm thinking, is this really happening? Did Samoa Joe just win the NXT Championship at a live event, of all things? Like I said, the crowd was in total disbelief. One of the biggest extended pops I have ever heard. Either in attendance, as a fan, just unbelievable. I was screaming in RJ's ear because I couldn't believe it myself. Everyone was going fucking nuts. So Samoa Joe's standing there with his hand raised. They give him the NXT Championship. His music plays, and we're like, oh my God, he really is the new NXT Champion. And I'm like, holy fuck, jumping up and down. I threw my phone up in the air. That was lost for a good minute or two before I had to find it to take pictures of Joe winning the belt. I wish I got a video, but like I said, I really had no idea. I really did not think that Joe would actually win. And he did, ending Balor's reign at 292 days as NXT Champion. Just absolutely unbelievable. Just incredible stuff here. The first championship change at a live event, I think, ever in NXT's history. And in WWE, we have not seen this too often. I know the tag team titles have changed hands a couple times in the last decade or so, like maybe 2 or 3 times. And that's really about it. That is about it. We do not see title changes at live events often. And this was just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. And I was super happy to be there for it. And we left the building before Balor, I heard he did like the too sweet and he walked out. And that was about it. That's all I saw because we left immediately after that. I wish I stayed because I heard people that were there, got to meet Bayley and Carmella afterwards, which is fine. I'll get my chance to meet my ultimate crush at some point. But anyway, so we left before we could see Balor get tended to the back. But I heard he, obviously the See You Monday chant, which is fired up a lot of speculation. We could see him on Raw and Monday in Hartford, which would be amazing. I feel like it won't be Monday. I feel like we could see him, at Payback or something. I don't know. Or even at Extreme Rules or whatever on, this upcoming Sunday. Or next Sunday, rather. But yeah, just an unbelievable ending. I could not have been happier to have been there for that show, that moment live, being a huge Samoa Joe fan. I met Samoa Joe in that same that same city, back in August of last year in Lowell, Mass. at a Northeast Wrestling show. One of the coolest wrestlers I've ever had the chance of meeting. And then, so you fast forward 8 months, and he's winning the championship in that same exact town. I read elsewhere, too, he won the TNA championship, and also in Lowell, Mass. back in April of 2008. So that's kind of a cool coincidence, too. But even without the title change, I would have said that would have been an amazing show. That was a really, really cool show to be a part of. The crowd's great. The atmosphere is amazing. The in-ring action was awesome. And to top it off with that title change was something to behold. And like I said, it's really hard to say. Right now I'm saying it's on par with NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I really have to dissect it and break it down, match by match, moment by moment. But it was just really something else. If it's not better than TakeOver Brooklyn in terms of me being there and being the best wrestling show I've ever been to in person that I've ever attended, it's probably at least on the same level. That was just better than SummerSlam by far. But wow, that show is something else. So hopefully they show footage of the title change on NXT. I know that cameras were filming the entire time, by the way, for every match. So I doubt they're going to show the show in full, obviously, on NXT or whatever. They're not taping it like for a feature network release. It was just a live event. It wasn't like Beast in the East or something like that. It was called Mayhem in Massachusetts, which was cool, but which it says in the poster that I bought. But beyond that, yeah, it was just a really, really fun show. And the bottom line, if you get the chance to attend an NXT live event, do not pass it up. Do not pass up an NXT live event experience because it really is something else. The WWE live events are a lot of fun. Indie shows are great, but NXT, after Brooklyn and now this and NXT Lowell, it really is an amazing experience that you do not want to miss. So overall, 2 thumbs up. Maybe not 10 out of 10, maybe 9.5 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, because this show was just amazing. And again, upon further investigation, I'll let you know if it was better than Brooklyn or not. I really have to dissect that and give it some time and let it sink in. But my voice is still shot 2 days later. I thank you for bearing with me here through 15 minutes of me talking about this show with basically no voice, so I appreciate that. But we will be back next week with my top 5 favorite Extreme Rules matches in the pay-per-view's history. I know Payback is next Sunday, but I fucked up and I thought it was Extreme Rules, and that was filmed last week. That video will be up next week, and then the week after that, my top 5 matches that I want to see at WWE WrestleMania 33, and that's coming up in 2 weeks. So the video blog is stacked for the next 2 weeks, and I can't wait to share it with you guys in the weeks to come. So until next time, guys, I apologize once again for the delay on the video blog, of course, as always. And then for the first time in a long time, and it's up on a Saturday. But that will not be happening, every week going forward. This will be just a one-time thing, and we'll be back on track with Friday video blogs and, going forward now. So anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch you folks down the road.